Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde, Shooter Hunt, and David Sharp here. Coffee and Curveballs. Our latest episode with David Sharp. Obviously, we're talking Alabama, Shooter.
Yeah, sweet home Alabama. We're in SEC country. I was down in Tuscaloosa to check out an event for PBR Alabama, but we're going to be talking about another great event at Auburn. So, Sharpie, welcome to the show.
Man, I am thrilled to be on. Thank you guys for having me on. I feel like I've arrived, man. I'm on Coffee and Curveballs. So I'm glad to be on. Thanks for having me on. Let's get started, baby.
You bet. Yeah, let's talk some Alabama prospects. You've had some events recently. You've had some young guys really stand out. First one we want to talk about is Parker Carlson. What do you got on the 2021 right-hander?
And at our event at Auburn, obviously, he had a great day. We didn't really know much about him, to be honest with you. He shows up and he goes out and, got a little wiry body. He's got going to be able to add a lot of weight, a lot of strength. And, there's more in the tank for him. But he was up to 86, 87, topped at 88. There's more in the tank there. Flashed a very a well-shaped breaking ball, really had some bite to it, and, really was just very impressive, clean mechanically. And he's one of those guys that you watch him pitch and, it's easy for him. We talk about something being easy. He's very clean mechanically. He's not an all effort guy. There's more in the tank for him. And, he'll continue to get better over the course of the next 2 years. He's at Faith Academy in Mobile. And, obviously he's a guy that, I'm sure we'll be adjusting our 2021 rankings soon, and he'll make an appearance in there. But, the week after our event, he was offered and committed to Auburn. So wow. he's going to be a Tiger. Absolutely.
So he must have put on quite the show there then. That's good for him.
He did. I mean, we were all, there was a lot of buzz about him. Really, really impressed. And he's got an older brother that plays at Samford now. So a baseball family, and I'm sure we'll see more of him over the next couple of years.
Yeah, and another guy that I heard a lot of buzz coming out of that event was Austin Embry, a catcher. Those pop times are crazy good.
Well, I know that when people see pop times, we us baseball guys, we wonder, is that legit? Is that legit? Well, Austin Embry we knew about Austin Embry. I had never seen him before. Matter of fact, he's been to our last two events.
Okay.
He was at our event at Auburn and was consistent 181 to 19. The highest pop he had was 191, and he's on the bag. I mean, it's not a 18 all over the place. It's a 18 there. He shows up at our event. He was a 2017. He came to the Future Games, so he was up there 2 years ago.
Okay.
With Louisiana. So he went up there, and made a name for himself there. And he came to our last event at the University of South Alabama, our South Alabama Select, and was just played the role again, played the part again. Was 178 to 183 behind the plate. He was much more offensive at our event at South Alabama. And, he is a legit catch and throw guy. I mean, he can shut down, especially high school running games. He can shut those down. And he's a guy that can really throw it. And again, he's on the bag. I mean, he's got good mechanics. He's on the bag, a quick transfer. But, if he hits a little bit, he's going to be a good sign for someone. And as I said, he showed a lot more juice and a lot better offensive approach there in Mobile just 2 weekends ago.
Saved a lot of runs.
Excellent. And then we got another commit out of the 2020 class, a third baseman going to Air Force, Jay Thomason. Why don't you tell us a little bit about him?
Physical-looking kid, 6 foot, 185 in the 2020 class. Plays third base, can obviously move across, play the other corner at first base. Beautiful left-handed swing. His BP round that morning, he showed, juice. He showed power to all fields. Didn't try to do too much. You can tell those advanced hitters when they take BP, they're not just trying to hit wall bangers. They're staying in the middle of the field, And he had a very professional approach during BP. And, defensively, you see a guy that can swing it, and you think, hey, is this all he can do? Obviously, I think hitting's going to be his ticket, but he's not a guy that's one of those that you're going to have to move across to first base. Defensively, he's plus at third base. can make all the throws, plus arm across the diamond. But again, has that leg kick approach at the plate from the left side, and had a triple in our game at Auburn, and it was 100 off the bat down the right field line. And he runs pretty well too, so that's a big get for Air Force.
Yeah, Air Force does a really nice job with those hitters. They seem to like to get those power guys and put them in that thin air in Colorado and let it fly. But this 21 class in Colorado, or this 21 class in Alabama, really shaping up nicely. And you had another right-hander named Trey Mooney who did a nice job at Auburn. Tell us a little more about him.
Yeah, Trey is, I know Trey's high school coach very well. We all know Wes Brooks, great guy.
Legend.
He's an awesome guy, and I'm glad to be his friend. But Trey was due to some injuries. Trey was forced to throw for their high school team last year as a freshman, and that's probably going to help him obviously down the line. Oxford, year in year out, Oxford is going to be in the middle of it in the state of Alabama. But Trey's 6'2", 190, as I said, right-handed pitcher. We've got him ranked number 33 right now in our 21 class. We had him up to 84, but that's a bit deceiving. As I said, 6'2", 190, good frame for a 21 guy. Really was able to pitch and be down in the zone. He created some great playing, with his pitches, was able to be down. And it was obvious that day that, he is a ground ball pitcher. He got ground ball. I know he had at least 2 ground balls in his inning of work, but very clean mechanically. He was one of 4 Oxford pitchers that was at the event, and all 4 of them were very impressive. So not to put any pressure on Coach Brook, those 4 arms, there's some, there should be some good days ahead. But he also, his breaking ball was in the mid-70s, really commanded that pitch. His fastball, he was able, as we said, could command both sides of the plate, created some run with his fastball, and really competed on the mound. And, you look at him, he looks the part now, and, the mechanics are clean. He's going to continue to progress and be a big arm for Oxford and someone else down the road.
Excellent. And the last guy we're going to talk about, Sharpie, normally, I only allow us to talk about high school guys. We'll make an exception here. But we got a 2023 in Jackson McKenzie, left-hander first baseman, two-way guy. What do we got here?
Well, Jackson is a guy that we knew about, and a guy that I've seen in the past in Jupiter this past summer. He has been a 22, and he just reclassified to a 2023. So that's why that's a little bit, a little different there. He's been a 22, but reclassified to 23 at Fairhope High School. He's a big kid, 6'1", 190 to be a 23, a true 22. But yeah, that's a big kid. Youngest kid at the Deep South Invite. I think the big question with him is, what's he going to do? Because, we know about him on the mound, 6'1", 190. His fastball at Auburn was only upper 70s, 78, 79. But again, you're talking about an 8th grader, a 23. His breaking ball right now is plus, really creating depth and really gets on top of it. And, it's a 2-plane pitch, can obviously get on top and spin that pretty good. And his fastball, as I said, 78, 79. And we know how difficult it is to hit left-handed pitchers. I mean, just be left-handed. And so he really showcased well on the mound, but I don't know if he's going to end up there or at first base because he really can swing it. And again, he's a 23 competing against a bunch of older guys at Auburn. And in our game, he had a double to left field, really, and really showed some pull side juice in BP. So that lets you know there as an 8th grader able to, in BP to show some pull side juice, but then you get in a game and he's disciplined enough to know, he had that double to left field, and it turned some eyes there. And he's a good player, and he's going to continue to get better. But he's got a lot of playing days ahead of him, no doubt.
And our sweet tooth, you come on here talking about a left-hander who can really spin it. Spin wins. I know what you're doing, Sharpie.
Absolutely, man. I got to set you up for that, man. But no, he was he was very impressive, and he held his own against all the older kids. And we'll be hearing a lot about him down the road. But overall, it was a great event at Auburn. We had 72 kids there between Alabama and Georgia. But those are some of the standouts among others. But those guys really stood out, and we'll be talking about them a lot in the coming days, I'm sure.
Excellent. Well, if you want to know more about that event and other prospects in Alabama, just head to prepbaseballreport.com/Alabama, where David Sharp and his crew obviously will have a bunch more information. So, Sharpie, we appreciate you joining us today, man.
Man, love coming on. Love talking about baseball and PBR. Thank you so much for having me on.
You bet, man. So for
Thanks,
David
Sharpie.
Sharp and Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.